Before we start, don't forget to subscribe. We're about to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I couldn't do it without you. If you love JDM cars, builds, and deep dives like this, hit that button and let's keep growing together. The Toyota Supra is a legend. Most people hear Supra and immediately think of the MK4 or even the newer A90. But what if I told you that the real hidden gem is the MK3? The A70 Supra is raw, aggressive, and full of 80s JDM soul. And let me tell you, I'm obsessed with this car. Today, I'm going to break down why the MK3 Supra is criminally underrated, what makes it special, and why it's a car I just can't stop thinking about. Let's take it back to 1986. Toyota had just killed off the Celica Supra name, and the MK3 was born, the first true Supra. No more Celica badge, no more shared platform. This was Toyota proving they could build a grand tourer that could go head-to-head with the best. And they went all in on the tech. The MK3 was one of the first JDM sports cars with electronically adjustable suspension, an available digital dash, and even an optional limited slip differential. This wasn't just a straight-line monster, it was built to carve corners. Oh, and of course, those iconic pop-up headlights, a must-have for any 80s legend. Now, let's talk power. The MK3 Supra had several engine options, but the one that gets all the love is the 7M GTE. This was Toyota's first turbocharged inline-six for the Supra, and in 1987 it was pushing 232 horsepower and 254 pound-feet of torque, numbers that were competitive with the Nissan 300ZX and even some Porsche models of the era. Now that might not sound like a lot today, but back in the late 80s this was serious power. A properly maintained 7M can be a beast. But here's the catch. Toyota didn't torque the head bolts properly from the factory. That led to the infamous blown head gasket issue, which gave the 7M a bad rep. But if you fix the head gasket and crank up the boost, these engines can make 350 to 400 horsepower with basic mods. So how does it drive? The MK3 was built as a grand tourer, not a lightweight sports car like the RX-7. At 3,500 pounds, it's a bit on the heavy side, but thanks to its double wishbone suspension on all four corners, it handles surprisingly well for its size. And if you're lucky enough to get the R154 5-speed manual instead of the 4-speed auto, you're in for a real treat. This gearbox is bulletproof and can handle over 600 horsepower with the right upgrades. For me, this obsession started years ago. I remember seeing an MK3 for the first time, parked at a car meet, and it just had this presence. That long, sloping hood, the aggressive stance, it looked like a street fighter, ready to throw down with anything on the road. Then I started seeing it in video games, hearing that turbo whistle, watching people build 700-plus horsepower monsters out of them, and I knew I had to own one someday. At the end of the day, the MK3 Supra isn't just a car, it's a statement. It's an 80s JDM legend that deserves way more love than it gets, and I'll never stop being obsessed with it. What do you think? Does the MK3 deserve more hype, or does the MK4 steal the spotlight? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe if you love JDM content. I'll catch you in the next one.